So, a Hardman race report. I said in the last video that I'd do a race report on Hardman when I was going through races for first timers, and it's Wednesday today, and I completed the Hardman full distance on Saturday, just gone, so 4 days ago. Starting off why to do a race report, I'd always get my clients to do race reports, just especially in the halves and the full distance of triathlon, because you learn so many things. Again, each race that you do, you'll probably pick up one, maybe two things that went well for you, and after so many races, that's a list of good things that went well for you. And on the other hand, you could have things that didn't go well for you. So again, you could be going into your 8th, 9th, 10th race with a full list of things that went well through all your other races, or things that went bad to avoid, and obviously try to do the things that went well. It's good to look back on as well and do the race report fresh, especially on the full distances. Again, you probably only race one of them a year, maybe two. So over 4 years, you probably only race 4 times at that full distance. So again, just to have feedback for what went well for you, going into your next full distance. We went down to the Hardman on Thursday. So the race was Saturday. Again, it was a 6:30 AM start. Me and Jenny, my fiance, went down on Thursday and just settled in. Had a swim on Friday, went into the lake. It's a lake swim down in Hardman, so it's fresh water. It's not salt water, it's not in the sea. But went in on the Friday. It was a little bit choppy, it was a bit windy. I think the forecast was bad for Friday and half decent for Saturday, as I'll get on to that. But we got in on Friday and it was a little bit choppy. There was 1 or 2 in there swimming as well, but nothing you haven't dealt with before. Again, got up Saturday morning then, and the conditions were perfect. In fairness, up at 4:30, it was still obviously dark, but the lake itself was amazing. You're getting in, especially with an open water swim. On this one, I know I said Australian exits in the last video, but the Hardman is a lake swim, and it's a full 3.8k swim, and then you get out. So again, the swim started about 6:30, and it was still sort of sunset. I think was only like 6:25, so it was still a little bit dark starting off. And I think there was 80 people that signed up for Hardman, so there was only 80 of us, but 15 didn't turn up, so 65 at the swim start. And it's one of the best feelings in the world. I think even when Alan was counting down from 10, Alan that runs the Hardman, I think he had to stop the count and shout over, will someone tell Mickey to shut up? Because it's just like you're trying for so long, and then you're just at that feeling, that minute where like you've probably trained for some people 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever it is, and then you realise that you're on the 10-second count and it's just all about to kick off. It really is like the calm before the storm. I just get excited knowing that there's a long day ahead of you and you're looking forward to it, rather than worrying about the full day ahead. Just living the moment, and the 10-second count is coming, and it's just genie everyone up and just trying to get it going. Again, with a lake swim, obviously it's not salt water like the sea. So for me, it's less buoyancy. For most people, it's less buoyancy. But I'm always a little bit slower in a lake swim. Again, it probably points out me flaws like the pool does as well for most of us, that when you get into the sea, you're more horizontal and you're more buoyancy in the wetsuit, so you're gliding through the water a bit more. There's just a little bit less buoyancy in a lake swim. So I knew I was going to be slower. I'd done the Glendalough swim the last 3 years, I think it was. Well, this would be the 3rd year if I do it on Sunday. But my times was like 1:42 and then 1:35, I think. So again, it'd be slower than my sea swims. But I was expecting whatever it was going to be the lake swim. Again, I've gave up, as my races have went on, I've gave up worrying about the swim. Your swim is your swim. I'm not one of them to check the watch after every K. You just get in, you find your stroke, don't start too quick, and just get the swim done. And wherever you get out, you just leave your swim time in T1. Again, it was a big triangle swim, so I think it was 400 metres out, 500 metres to a top buoy, and then back into another corner buoy, and then you done 2 laps of that. Again, the first lap was great. It was still a little bit dark, so it was a little bit sort of, we saw the first turn, made it. The far buoy right out then was a bit sort of hard to see at the start. That was just because of the time of day. Lucky there was a fella swimming beside me in a pure orange wetsuit. It was great to sight off, just sort of try to stay with him. Rather than concentrating on the buoy. Again, with your sighting, if you're following someone, you're just hoping that their sighting is good as well and they're not going off, but it's a chance you take. And anyway, done the 2 laps, good lake swim. I came out on 2:21, so I was roughly gauging that my swim would be around 2:20, 2:25, in around that from my last Glendalough swims. Again, as he said, it's sort of with the fresh water, points out your flaws a little bit more, and you wouldn't be as horizontal in the sea. I'd be whatever I'd be in the sea, a 110 swimmer, so I was 121, and when I get out of the water I had Jenny there just to ask me. I'd always do that, especially on the smaller races, just tell her to tell me what position I'm in. So again, when I get out of the water, she says you're in 19th, so I was happy enough with that. Again, I checked my watch, it was 121. On the bike and off we go. Again, down in Hardman, it was the Ring of Kerry. I've never done the Ring of Kerry, and I've heard so many cyclists doing it, so it was good sort of get that ticked off the bucket list. So the cycle would be a whole 180k. So other races could be a 90k loop and you do it twice. So again, we had our first aid bags, which is your nutrition you get for the second half of the bike. You do the night before and you put it on 90k. So off we went on the bike. Again, an amazing bike route. Again, I think it was voted in the top 10 best full distance triathlons outside an Ironman event, and it just said it's the most scenic view you'd ever get. And I've done Lanzarote and I've done cycles in Spain and things like that, and honestly the scenery blew me away. I went into the bike walking off power, so I'd normally walk off power, and I had normalised power on my screen in front of me, and the bike was going to be a real discipline for me, because again, I just feel probably, not my bike have let me down, but I've probably been trying to walk off numbers that haven't been me. So again, walking off power and anything like that, you want sort of, you have to realise where you are and not where you want to be. There's no point in going out in a race and hitting numbers where you want to be or where you think you should be. You just have to walk off the numbers where you are at the minute. So it was a real grounding and just, this is it, I'm not going to mess up again and go too hard on the bike and then mess up my run. So I had the normalised power on my screen, and to be honest, like my power at the minute was I was trying to stay under 200 watts. So my normal house power would be under 200 watts. Where previously you're going into races and you're looking at other people's numbers and numbers getting posted everywhere, here, there, left and right, and you're thinking, I'm that number, I want to do that, and then you go out and you try hold 210, whatever it is, 215s, 220s, you're trying to hold over your numbers. So again, my target was to try to stay under 200 watts and get off the bike in a good position to run, because I haven't ran this much, I haven't ran this year much, as in Bantry earlier in the year I came off the handlebars, so I didn't get to do the run. In Cork I had a bike malfunction, so I didn't get to run there. And you can do all the training you want, runs and things like that. It's only really races that you'll find out where your running is. But out on the bike, and anyway I went and I was staying, there was two main climbs, and I think it was 1.4k, 1,400 metres sort of elevation over the whole climb, which was mainly on two climbs. I'm not too sure the names, but you're amazing. Anyway, Mall's Gap or whatever was sort of leading to the first one. So there was a sort of out of Killarney, it's an open road bike, so you're dealing with roundabouts, you're dealing with red lights, you're dealing with cars coming out of garages and things like that, so you have to be sort of a little bit more alert than you would be in other races. But as it was a great race, again a great bike course. The worry going into it, all it is, it's your 180k training day. So again, as you go out onto the normal road and do your laps or your big 100k's and you do them by two, whatever it was just 180k bike training day. So the first 20 or 30, well the first 3k to get out onto the country roads was two main roundabouts, which I've cycled the day before, which I was glad I'd done now. So you come out of the T1 and you come up to a roundabout, you take a right, and then you come to the main roundabout in Killarney and you take a right, and then you're sort of let out away from the main traffic, and you're just being careful. It was well signposted and there was people there to tell you to take them turns, and anyway, as it was in the race briefing the night before. But the first 30k was a little bit of a climb going up, so you're getting excited, you're always happy to be out of water and on the bike, and off you go. And looking at my normalised power, and it was 270 and 280 and sort of in around that, and I said, here we go again. I says, I'm sort of getting excited, thinking I'm going to try hold what's outside where I'm training at the minute. So I just, for the whole rest of the bike, I just focused on sort of slowly reducing my normalised power. Even normally, as I knew I was in 19 from Jenny telling me when I left the water, obviously you're cycling and then you're seeing another person and you're thinking, right, that's me in 18th, in 17th and 16th and things like that. But out on the bike course there was two other races. I think there was a Quest 24 and another cycle race on, or whatever it was. So you were going by people not knowing whether you were in the Hardman or you were on their cycles, and there was just people casually out cycling on a Saturday morning as well. So after about 2 or 3 people going past, I just left it at that and really focused on my race, on my normalised power. So again, even on smaller climbs that I felt good that I could have pushed, if I had raised my normalised power, I was just holding back. I was just knocking it down a gear and spinning the legs. I think my cadence came in at like 88 to 89. So that was good for me, because normally I'm a grinder, and normally I sort of get to the hills and think, right, because I knew my position where I should have been, like I was coming out of the water, I'd be chasing other people, and then that's sort of me outside my numbers and not racing my race rather than trying to get a position on the next fella. And in a full distance triathlon, you'll get caught out in the end, because again, the long days, whether they're 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours, whatever they are, again, you have to sort of leave your ego in T1 and go out. So it was actually a really enjoyable bike course. Again, as I said, I was working on my normalised power. At the start, there was no really choice about it. After 40k, I was up to 2:17s, but I just worked on gradually getting that down. We got out of Killarney, I'm not too sure the routes, and anyway, but we got to Waterville. We came around the Ring of Kerry the back way, which I only found out was a good call, because all the tour buses go obviously the normal way of the Ring of Kerry, so we were on the other side of the road, because we did go through the whole day by some amount of tour buses. But we got to Waterville on 93k, I think it was, and Waterville is one of the first Hardmans I done, which we went down and done a half, and it was I always rave about it. I'm at the end of the last 3 years, but in Waterville, going through it, I recognised the scenery, I knew where the swim was and things like that, but it was 93k and there was a few lads waiting there with our bags, so we changed our nutrition. I had 3 bottles of Prolong and I took them off, put 3 fresh bottles of Prolong in. I had a few caffeine gels for the second half of the race. But yeah, off in Waterville then we went. Again, the 2 climbs remind me of sort of Dunleary. They wouldn't be as steep, but they just had their own climb. We got a windy day. You can ask any of the racers there. It was a windy day, and the Ring of Kerry's a full loop, but honestly, it just felt like the wind was in our faces for the whole lot. The 2 climbs, when you got near the top, luckily I was just on the top and it started getting misty and rainy, and the second climb it was a little bit sort of a hailstone sort of buzz. I think it was just the rain hitting us. You were thinking whether I'd pull over and put on my rain jacket or not, but luckily you got down off the hills and then it sort of eased off. So again, after Waterville there was about 85k left. A flat enough sort of bringing you home, few ups and downs, but again I didn't get overexcited and I just stuck to the normalised power. So after, as I said, I was about 2:17, 2:18 normalised power, and I was gradually coming down. So that was my race now at the minute, just gradually keep my gears, keep on my cadence high, and just bringing me normalised power rather than thinking, right, I'm in 16th or 17th here and I'm going to catch the next fella, which was really different for me. Normally I'm pushing. I got great advice a while ago about a while ago off a coach just to enjoy triathlon. He says, why keep on pushing? Just take it all in and enjoy it. So that was sort of the attitude I went into with the Hardman. Again, just trying to keep me power. I come off the bike then, I think my time was, I have it just there, it's 5:45 for 175k I think it was, and my normalised power was 195. So after a sort of a hilly start, I was gradually chipping away in it and just bringing it down and keeping it in the lighter gear and just getting it done. So I was happy enough with that, and again you'll see on the run that built confidence then for me run. So on the bike you come off, it was a traffic light, all Alan and John, and there was a few there stopping me. You just see the hands up saying slow down. It was right at a traffic light and the light was red. So I was thinking, it's just for the traffic light and we'll cycle on because the distance was a little bit short. And I got closer and closer, and they were like, no, off the bike here. It was like lovely, a little bit of a surprise here. I was on 175k and I said, this is it now, I'm off it. They had a little a young fella to take the bike, which was very handy, and in you go when you run. So I come out of the water in 19th and stead to me power on the bike all the way around. I got the 175k done in 5 hours 45 minutes and gave the chap my bike and ran into and put my running runners on, and Jenny was there, and it was nearly a little bit of a surprise to see me, and she says to me, you're in sixth. So I was like, Jesus, I stopped counting then going by cyclists out there, but I didn't think, I maybe thought it was 9th or 10th, you know what I mean, in it, because I knew there was a strong field there as well. So when she says you are in 6th, I said, right, that's it. Again, lovely, getting on the runners changing. As he said, Hardman brings you back to basics. There was a change in tent, but I was just taking off my cycling shoes, putting on the socks where my bag was, and off I went. And again, another big thing for me is when I knew my position, going out on the run, I would have normally been, right, lovely, I'm in 6th, I'll try to get 5th, I'll try to get 4th, but I've done that so many times, and I think I've paid the price for listening to my ego and trying to catch other people rather than racing my own race. As I said, it's a long day. I was at being on the swim and the bike for about 7.5, nearly 8 hours. So I knew there was a full marathon ahead of me as well. So I said to Jenny, with the Hardman it was a public park, so Jenny was able to be rented a bike on the Friday. and Jenny was able to cycle bits of the course with me before it got too hilly. So the run course was 3 14k loops, which I actually beforehand I says I'll enjoy this, because again you get off the bike and you're so relieved to be off the saddle and you're running. I knew my first loop was just seeing the course for the first time and enjoying it, and then all of a sudden when you went by the time I'm at the finish line, you're on your second loop, which I'd always say is your middle lap. So I just knew I had to get by this one and then get on to my third lap. So we got off, and anyway, got off the bike. I knew I was in 6th place and I went off running. Why 6th place sort of means something is because I done Waterville 3 years ago and came 7th, and me and Alan, the owner of Hardman, is always having a joke, and I'm been telling him since then, I'll get top 5, I'll get top 5, I'll get top 5. And I went back to Waterville and got 2 7ths, and then this year I done Waterville and got 6, so I haven't lived up to the top 5 just at the minute. But anyway, I went off in 6th place on the run, Jenny with me, and I was telling her beforehand, just keep on shouting to me, pace, 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 don't let me go off too quick, just pace, pace, pace. So I was going off, I felt good. I knew on the run that I've stuck to the power of me normalising. I come in under 200 watts, so again that breed confidence that you didn't go too hard on the bike, so I knew I was in a good position for the run. And off I went, and anyway, I knew I was in 6th place, but I said to Jenny, listen, this race is just for me. It's just, it doesn't matter honestly where I come, I'm just going out to run my race rather than trying to catch 5th and things like that. So off we went on the 14k, felt good, had Jenny giving me gels, she was holding me bottles of nutrition and things like that. She had a bag in her back, she's done great with the camera phone as well. I got a few little videos up in my story. But I done the 14k loop again. It's just through a local park. There was people running, there was horses and cars. So I don't know if anyone's ever been into Killarney National Park before, but it was a 14k loop, just like we've a park here called St. Anne's, if anyone knows it. It's like that. You're just running on a little path. Again, you're coming up to a red arrow, it's telling you to go right. You're coming up to another red arrow, it's telling you to go left. So you're sort of zigzagging around, backing yourself, coming through the same water stations. But yeah, the run 14k, I knew there was hilly section of this. I said it's going to get harder. The 14k is going to be harder in the second and the third loop, but I managed to run, I'd approximately say about 30k before I walked. Well, I stopped at a water station and things like that and took a gel, but I felt really strong, and as I said, that was from the confidence of being on my power on the bike. I hadn't went by anyone yet. It was me and another fella. He obviously got off in 7th position, so me and him was sort of tit for tat. Again, I was running for 13k, but again I wasn't focusing about the fella in front of me or the fella behind me. I was just trying to concentrate on my race. And then I got on to my last lap, going by it, and knew it was my last lap, and sort of, not the wheels fell off, but I was just feeling in the legs. My legs were feeling heavy. As I said, I was gone by, I knew it was into my last hour. I was probably gone by the 10-hour mark and things like that. So the legs started feeling heavy. So we just worked out a plan that there was any short and sharp hills, I was going to get to them and walk and run the flat. So again, I was sort of conscious that I was in 6th position, and I was keeping the chap behind me away from me. I hadn't seen the fella in front of me. Yeah, so I was just settling for 6th. I said, right, that's it. Again, the hills, I sort of just slowly walked or jogged if I could, and the flat I just kept on going. And then I met Jenny with about 3k to go, where her bike could sort of meet me at a water station, and off we went. And I was hitting the wall at this time again, jogging. She was saying, you're doing great, how do you feel, and things like that, everything. I was walking bits with Jenny, and I ended up saying to her, I'm sorry, and all these things, but it's great. There was a few special moments out there with Jenny, like, you know what I mean, you're in the depths of pain and everything else, and you're telling her sorry, and she's telling you you're doing great. So it was good to get going and get running. Again, she definitely got me probably 3 or 4 minutes on me timing anyway, because I probably, if she wasn't there, would have ended up walking for a little bit longer. But anyway, saw the fella in front of me, about 1.5k left, and he starts looking over the shoulder, and I'm like, that must be bleeding 5th position, the fucking position that I'm at to be telling Alan that I'm going to get for so long. And I sort of tried to up it, but I tell you, my legs were just going. I was upping it, then walking. Anytime I'd see him looking, I was trying to run to put him under pressure to walk, and then when he turned back and jogged, I'd be walking, so I was tit for tat. And anyway, he came across the line in 5th. I went in, I got a time of 10:52 in 6th position. So I was really happy because it was a strong field. Again, I finished in 10:52, and the winner finished in 9:11, and Brian Sexton finished in 2nd in 9:35, the same time as he got last year. So I'm miles apart from them, you know what I mean? It's not saying that I got 5th and I was only 20 minutes away from winning or anything. The two lads that won it absolutely. Checking out the times is amazing, you know what I mean? They're really actually, like, you sort of start thinking, Jesus, will I ever get there? But you just have to take a step back from when you started doing long distance triathlon. You're wondering, will I ever get the full distance in? And now you're there, and the next step is, will I ever get there? So it's a slow process to get where you want to be. But chilled out in the tent after it, and anyway, and I'm sitting there saying, well, Alan, I got another 6th and I didn't get me 5th. And he says, can you check the times? And little did I know, he went over and checked and come back to me and shook my hand and says, congratulations, you came 5th. That one of the teams that came in before me on the bike was a relay team. So that's someone that does the swim, then passes the chip to the bike. So I got me 5th and anyway, and finished in my best ever position in a triathlon. And it was just special that it was a full distance triathlon. Again, Hardman itself, as he said, I'm sporting the hoodie now. So what you do is, like, you're getting your full distance triathlon in a lake swim. So more or less that time of the year, the water temperature's going to be good. You're going to get calm conditions, nothing about big waves that's going to cancel the swim. So more or less, I think next year is the anniversary and the swim hasn't been cancelled yet. So you're getting your full distance triathlon, you're getting a proper hoodie, like a really good hoodie that you'd be privileged wearing around. You're getting a top of the range medal that goes with any medal. You're getting a meal the next day at the ceremony, at the award ceremony. You're getting a good slap up meal, and it's all for €169. It opens today on Hardman events. So again, suss out your race calendar next year, but it would be something that I'd push for people to maybe add in at the end of the year. As he said, if you wanted to do bigger, more established race early on in the year, don't forget about that. There's a Hardman on August 31st. €169. You could go down Thursday, go home Sunday. You'd probably wrap up the whole weekend with accommodation, travel and food for €500. So it really is something to think about. And I was really impressed with the my first ever full distance Hardman triathlon. And that's me wrapping up the triathlon season now. Dublin City Marathon next. Hope you enjoyed the review. Cheers.